Well, back here once again with lots 31 and 32, another pair of three-litter, I guess the first pair of three-litter gilts that we've been into. We saw one of their brothers here earlier. Once again, these would be the Mohawk Colin Dibbs that we talked about there earlier. Really, really high on this sow, and one that's been a corner piece around our farm here for the last couple of years. Kind of off-season there last year, but certainly had some really, really good ones out 2 years ago. This particular sow also made those family ties hogs that got along extremely well this winter in the south. I think a really, really nice pair of very eye-appealing gilts here to start with.
Yeah, I like this gilt that Clay's on a really good deal, because I think that I think this one could have multiple endpoints, and yet at the same time, genetically her value I think is timeless. And so you study her pedigree, and the success that Mohawk's getting ready to have this summer, down there for the Laird boys. I like that boar a good deal, and I think it's clicked here in this particular litter. Man, you talk about one that's just timeless in her build and her structure and the way that she's assembled and put together. I think she looks like a lady, and yet at the same time she still offers extras. I think sometimes we use that saying or that terminology that they look like a lady is almost like a cop-out sometimes, because they're too plain everywhere, but this one is far from plain. This one's heavy duty in her skeleton. This one's got form, she's got function. I think things can balance up well for her. I think long term this is going to be an awfully unique gilt.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we got to remember it's a hog show, and that eye appeal,
it's
from
important.
a judge's standpoint, you can't make them any prettier than some of these chromed up deals when you get hair and skin dialed in. I think that one's absolutely spot on. Move on to the next gilt here, and this would be 3-10, her sister, another one that's very, very eye appealing, and maybe one that is just even a nickel longer fronted up there in terms of extension from blade forward. I think that one's offers some unique pieces there as well, just as heavy structured, if not more heavy structured than what her sister is there. And this one probably, I guess in my mind, I think you could go either way with them, but this one probably reads maybe even a little more market-oriented. I'm not going to say market-oriented, but that could be a dual purpose, I guess.
Dual purpose, Yep. So this is one that's big in her feature, big in her hind leg, and still reaches and grabs really well. And I think one that honestly she probably offers just a shot more, like you talked about, extension up front and just cleanliness of her throat latch there compared to her sister. And I think that you can feed this one for whatever you want her to look like in the end, and she's going to give it to you. So really heavy duty in her skeleton, really nice pair of crossbred gilts.
One thing on that gilt I would like to mention, so someone doesn't catch a surprise there, but she does have an extra dew claw there. Certainly just like to mention that, just to make it, forewarn people. Certainly in my opinion doesn't necessarily mean anything from a show ring value, but yet at the same time just wanted to mention that there as well.
Really nice pair of crossbred gilts. This is lots 31 and 32, 3-7 and 3-10, Mohawk Colin Dibbs.